How we doing?
Hello, everybody.
Great. How are you?
Good.
Good. Hold.
Hello.
Hi, Dad.
Hello.
Good evening.
Today.
Hi.
Hi, how are you all?
Good. We'll give it one more minute. Okay, why don't we get started? Hopefully, Carrie and Sophie will join us shortly. So I wanted to call the Board of Health meeting to order. Let's do roll call alphabetically. Adi,
Adi Bengali present.
Sal,
Val Vermonti present.
Kevin,
Kevin Sexton present.
Joan,
Joan Wetzel present.
and Rick Lopez. So this is a special meeting. We don't usually meet in December, but we're trying to accommodate this request for a tobacco sales permit. And I appreciate everybody taking the time. I don't think this will take very long. And I'm going to turn it over to Ade to kind of frame the question, and then perhaps the guests can introduce themselves, and we'll go from there. Ade?
All right. Thank you very much, Dr. Lopez. My name is Adi, Health Director for the town of Reading. We have Coblia LLC. They are trying to purchase a tobacco establishment from 87 Walkersbrook Drive LLC. In order to have the tobacco permit transferred, they will need approval from the Board of Health for the transfer to occur. Now, the board doesn't meet in December and in July of each year, meaning that they would have to wait till January of next year to get the permit transferred. So I advise that they send a letter to the board to request the board to convene and hear the matter, and if possible, grant them the approval or deny the approval, whatever the board decides. I believe we have two representatives from Coblia LLC, and I would hand it over to
I can take it, Ade.
right, Sasha?
Yeah,
Is that
Sasha.
correct? All right. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you so much. Again, my name is Sasha Meyer. I'm an attorney appearing on behalf of Colbia Enterprises LLC. First, I want to thank Mr. Solarin and Miss Murphy with the health department, as well as you, the board, for coordinating and convening this meeting on a short notice, considering our timeline and request. I also want to recognize that on behalf of the client, we're also represented by James Hall, who's the general counsel of Colbia Enterprises. He's on the call. Mario Venditelli, Director of Operations, is on the call, as well as shareholder and my colleague, John Russell. So again, thank you so much for joining us tonight. As I mentioned in my letter to the board, Colbia Enterprises is purchasing the property at 87 Walker's Brook Drive in Reading, together with the business and the property, as well as all those assets associated with the business, the convenience store inventory, the fuel, the other assets, etc. The closing date for that sale is December 16th, which is next Tuesday. There is a gas station on the property and a convenience store, which currently sells tobacco products. According to the Town of Reading health regulations in Section 16E9, the seller of a business holding a valid tobacco product sales permit issued by the Town of Reading may transfer said permit to a bona fide purchaser for value of the business, subject to the approval of the Board of Health. The seller of the property, 87 Walker's Brook Drive LLC, currently maintains a valid tobacco permit license. And now, in connection with the purchase of the business and property at 87 Walker's Brook Drive, we seek to transfer that permit to Colbia Enterprises on or before that closing date of December 16th. That section 16E9 also states that we must submit the permit application within 60 days of the purchase. We've actually already done that. We did that this morning, including all the required documentation, specifically those tobacco licenses issued by the Massachusetts Department of Revenue. So considering those facts and those circumstances, we're requesting that you, the Board of Health, approve this transfer of the tobacco product sales permit from the seller to Colbia Enterprises, so that we may begin selling tobacco products on December 16th. And I'll turn it back over to you.
Thank you. Dr. Lopez?
Yeah. So thank you for summarizing the current status and situation. It's clear that the board needs to approve the transfer of the permit, and we can certainly consider that conditionally tonight. Although we couldn't actually, it would be conditioned on the actual sale, finalization of the sale of the property. And so just kind of keeping that in mind. And as I reviewed our tobacco regulations, basically sounds like, as you mentioned, everything is in order. You're not near a school, you're not near another tobacco sales site. I guess the only question I would have two questions, and then I'll open it up to the board. One question is, I think Colbia Enterprises owns a lot of these kinds of convenience stores and tobacco sales retail outlets. And I'm just wondering, historically, if you have any knowledge over the past year or two of how well they do in terms of tobacco sales, as far as not resulting in violations in the local towns and municipalities where they work as a enterprise-wide company. I think I Googled, and they own tens or maybe over 100 locations. And so they obviously have a lot of experience. Do you have, or does anybody else on the meeting have any knowledge of how frequently or there have been tobacco sales violations by Colbia?
Hi, Mr. Lopez, John Russell. Nice to meet everyone, and thanks very much for your time. We'd have to turn that over to Mario Venditelli. He's Director of Operations, as well as James Hall, the general counsel. We brought them here for that particular reason, to answer any operational or questions like that. So with that, Mario or Jay, could you speak to that, to
Sure.
Dr. Lopez?
Absolutely. James Hall, General Counsel for Colbia. Going back to the first inquiry as to the number of locations we have, in Massachusetts, we have probably about 60 odd locations. You probably know them mostly as Season Corner Market. That's the overarching brand. Then there's a subset of those that are branded as this location is, as just a Shell Food Mart. We, in the past year, candidly, I would say years, have had no violations in any of our locations. We are family-run business, pride ourselves on the operation. Maybe self-aggrandizing. I think we're probably the standard in the industry in terms of this type of operation of convenience stores and gas stations. And again, we don't have these kinds of violations. If we did, the employees would be short-lived with us, to say the least.
Great.
Right.
Mario, do you want to add anything, or it sounds?
Yeah, we like Jay said, family-owned business that we take great pride in, not selling tobacco to minors. We're very strict on this. In our register systems, we make sure that we scan IDs for every tobacco purchase, period. No exceptions. If you don't have an ID, we cannot scan it and see the ID. You cannot buy tobacco from us.
Great. Because that was going to be my second question, which is, what systems and processes do you have in place to prevent, those kinds of violations? Just as a comment, and you probably already know this from reading the Reading tobacco regulations, is that this town passed last year a regulation that forbids selling tobacco to anyone born after January 1st, 2004. So it's not age related. It's not age 21 or above. It's someone, person purchasing a tobacco product needs to have been born before January 1st of 2004. So that might require some change when you do acquire the property in terms of the way the scanning system and the software work, that it's not flagging age 21, it's flagging a birth date. And so that might be something you'd want to check on the regulations if you're not aware of them, just FYI.
Okay. And we've operated in other communities that have what we would call that escalating age.
Yes.
And we haven't had issues with it. But you're right. I mean, it does take some tweaking and making sure that particular location is aware of it.
Great. Those are the only questions I had. Does anyone else have any comments or questions regarding this matter?
No, I just had the same comment as you, Rick.
Yeah, that was pretty much my question, same exact one.
Me too.
Okay.
And would this be the first establishment in Reading for Coblea LLC?
It would be.
Yep.
Yeah. We're all around, but not in Reading. And we do plan a fair amount of improvement and upgrading of the facility. Over the next few years, we will be back to do some improvement there.
Right. Okay, so if there are no other comments, questions.
Can I make a quick comment, Dr. Lopez?
Sure.
So as of right now, the agreement has not been executed. They are proposing to execute the agreement on December 16th. So at this point, Coblea LLC does not own this property.
Just a quick, he's correct if I'm pronouncing your name correctly. Forgive me if I'm not. The purchase and sale has been signed for it. So everything is signed up and ready to go. It's being held in escrow, pending December 16th when the wire, the money exchanges hands. So that's the only caveats. You're absolutely right, Colby. We don't own it yet, but all of the agreements have been signed, executed, and we're holding all of the documents here in my office from the seller.
Okay.
Yeah,
Um,
I think like you said earlier, Rick, I don't see, and correct me, Dave, if I'm wrong, I don't see any reason why we can't condition this tonight upon the sale being completed.
Yeah,
Right.
just for the date.
On
Exactly.
that date. Yeah, exactly.
There's some attorneys in the room, maybe they can help step in and answer that question as well too.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
On that note, Dr. Lopez, what and board members of the board, what would you conditioning it on the December 16th closing is of course fine. What would you like us to do on the 16th? We'll record the deed first thing in the morning. What information would you like us to send, and who should we send that to?
So, actually, I wanted to make a motion that on the 16th, once that wire gets transferred and the funds are done and it's a done deal, that someone, from Colbia, a representative, call the health director a day and inform him that the sales and the funds have been completed, at which point I think he can go ahead and issue the permit on that day.
Right.
Once he knows.
Right. Should we hinge it on a certain date, or should we hinge it on the actual transaction?
I would say the transaction,
Because what if it gets delayed a day, or I don't know.
Yeah, good
I would hinge it on
question.
the transaction, not a.
I would say transaction if
That's a great point.
Never know.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, I'm just being devil's advocate here.
Thank you very
I've
much.
been in a lot of business transactions, and they don't always go smooth.
Yep.
Good point. Good point.
That's a great point. Thank you for that, Sal.
Yeah,
Much
no problem.
appreciated.
No problem. Yep. Or I could go earlier, right?
It won't go earlier.
Okay.
I'll tell you that.
There you go. So, I mean, if you want to make the same motion, Rich, and just hinge it on transaction instead of date, I'd second that.
Okay, so let me sort of make a motion to conditionally approve the permit application for the tobacco sales permit in this matter at 87 Walker's Brook Drive, and it's conditioned on two items. One is that that the sale is completed with the transfer of funds between the current owners and Colbia, and that the new owners or representatives thereof call the health director once those funds are transferred to inform him of the finalization of the sales execution, at which point a day the health director can issue the permit transfer on behalf of the board.
I second that one.
Okay.
Can I say something?
Yes.
At what point do you have to do a change of ownership once the sale has been executed? Like a formal change of ownership at the town clerk's office?
Oh, so we can, Mr. Solarian, so the deed is recorded, obviously, with the Registry of Deeds in the land court Tuesday morning. We can send whatever you like, a notice. Typically, the registry reaches out to the town and notifies them, who the new owner is. But quite often, too, we send a letter to both the tax assessor and the collector, just notifying that, in this case, on December 16th, the new owner is Colbia Enterprises, and going forward, I'll tax invoices and otherwise should be sent to their headquarters. Is that what you're asking, or is that helpful?
It is helpful, but
Okay.
there is an official change of ownership that you still have to go through at the town clerk's office.
Okay. We'll double check that with the clerk. Thank you for that.
Okay, thank you.
So I guess in addition to a call, it would be the paperwork too, Rich?
Yeah, the documentation at the town
Yeah.
clerk's office. Is that what you're saying today?
Correct.
I would add that, amend that, my motion to include that.
Yeah. Good catch a day. Thanks.
Okay.
Thanks.
So we had a second. Roll call: Sal,
Yes.
Kevin,
Yes.
Joan,
Yes.
and Rick. Yes. Okay. So transfer permit is approved conditionally upon those items that we mentioned, and you should be all set.
Thank you.
Yeah,
No,
thank
I'm
you
ready.
again.
Thank you.
Thank you,
very
and have a great holiday, everybody.
Yeah, everybody
Thank
have a
you.
great holiday. Yeah.
Thank you all.
You as
Welcome
well.
Welcome to
Best
Reading.
of luck with it.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks.
Thank you. Look forward
Thank
to
you.
it.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye.